Today I want to show you how to install a BNC connector on a coaxial cable. So the first thing we want to look at is what is a BNC connector. In your house you normally have a coaxial cable with a standard F-type connector, and it's got threads on it that go right into your wall socket or your TV. And out in the field, if you have an old CCTV system or something, you'll see the more professional BNC connectors. They don't have threads. They just twist on, and you push them in and you twist them on or off. So the first thing we're going to do, we're using ideal BNC connectors. They're RG59, so you have to make sure if you're using an RG59 cable to get the RG59 connector, and if you're using an RG6 cable, use the RG6 connector. Otherwise they won't fit. An RG6 cable won't fit into an RG59 connector. And the second thing you need to do is get the right crimping tool. So in this case we're using the Klein Tool's crimper. It's not perfectly compatible, but it does work with the ideal connectors, and it does have adjustment knobs. Some of the fancier Klein tools, they've got like different inserts for different types of connectors, but for our purposes it's okay. So the first thing you want to do, you're also going to need a stripping tool. You don't want to try to strip your coaxial cable with a cutter. That will not be very good for you. So the first thing you want to do with your cable is cut it. I'm using a patch cable here just to show you, but once you've got a clean cut, don't worry too much about the little fragments and whatnot, because we're going to be getting rid of this. You get your stripping tool. As you can see, it's spring loaded, and it's got a hole here where the blade goes. So you press it and you put your cable through, and make sure on the other side you don't want to strip too far. This one works with RG59 and RG6 cable, and you spin around. Now as you can see, it cut the cable in two spots. So the first spot is with this cable, it's a little bit tough to see, but it cut right down to the core. And the second part cut just down to the dielectric. So there's a braiding here. What you want to do is you want to trim this to about a quarter of an inch, depending on the specs. You can look at the specs on each connector. They're all different. And the second thing you want to do is you want to peel back the braids, and you want to make sure peel all of them back and do it evenly, so that they're flat against the casing. Don't let a single braid touch the copper, because then you'll end up with a short circuit, and you do not want a short circuit. So as I said earlier, this cable is shielded. It's got a foil on top. Most cables don't, but this is a more of a high-end cable. So once you've peeled it all down, you need to get your BNC connector, and these are the ideal connectors. They've got this transparent part right here, and that's very important when we are installing. So what you want to do, you want to push your cable into the connector, and you gotta push hard. Sometimes you want to be sure that the cable braids have crossed into the transparent part, and then you grab your crimper tool and you load your connector right into the crimp tool, and then you just push the handle down, and you want to keep pushing until the transparent part disappears completely. So in this case we can't go all the way down with the handle because these ideal connectors are much bigger, but we do have a completed connector.